What's up, guys? Disclosure Artist here, and today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about technology and the way it's affecting and shaping our world and my history of it. I used to work in technology. Um, I could start with the fact that they definitely instill a fake sense of security within our world, with things like, data bit encryption and firewalls, when all of these things can definitely be penetrated and bypassed, especially when you're operating from outside of what we consider reality. I learned this because I had an experience. Obviously, if you've seen my videos, I've documented this experience when I was 15 years old. My computer was hijacked, similar to the fashion of Neo in the Matrix, right around the time that that movie actually came out. So I knew from that point on that it's not what we think it is. So let's see. Um, I used to work for a technology company that basically, it was a boiler room, and it peddled obsolete technology. We were promising a internet solution, with a high speed, but it was basically, technology that was available since the 1960s, and when it would fail, the entire um, backbone of the business that it was supporting would go down, and of course we would have to live with that guilt. So once the Kool-Aid runs dry, you can no longer enjoy the party. Um, that was a telecom corporate situation. There was another company um, where we basically had the ability to promise our customers that we'd sell them under the pretense that so yeah, basically with the first company, we would basically say that your internet's going slow in the middle of the day because you're running a business competing with a bunch of children that are playing their video games on a shared line. We want to give you a basically high speed lane in the highway, and it wasn't that. And with this other company, we basically would promise that people that were trying to leave work early, like their secretary, you would be able to hold them accountable if they were turning business away, let's say in the last 15 minutes of a business day, because we were able to record all their calls. So while that was true, we also had the ability to listen to all of our customers' calls. And I found that out completely unethically one day when my manager, pit boss, was listening, and he was laughing, having a private joke fest, listening to total strangers' personal phone conversations in the middle of a business day, and just inviting members of the sales team to just listen in. So I mean, that's just insane. Imagine if we had the ability on just the Lilliputian level of operation that we were at. Imagine what the powers that be and what is in actual existence. And of course, the video I just released recently lends itself to that theory. I worked at another technology company where basically we would assess commercial real estate and try to convert their energy from conventional methods to solar. And the panels that we were the the solar efficiency, I believe the word is, yeah, it's escapes my memory, but basically a lot of them were made in China, and they were just not high performance at all. They were subpar, maybe 16%, effective, when I know we have technology that's much, much higher performance, obviously. Um, but this is all preaching to the choir at this point. Um, Most of the panels and the batteries that, of course, the CCP, they're basically trying to install at this point a electronic infrastructure in our country. As you can see, from the gas prices, I mean, you can't sell electric cars when gas is cheap, so obviously you can trace the roots of the gas and the fact that we've got all these electric cars coming in. We don't have the infrastructure to support them. It's just a big disaster. Anyway, most of the cobalt that goes into the lithium-ion batteries that's mined with slave labor, all the stock in that raw mineral, I mean, I want to say 85% of it is owned by the Chinese Communist Party. So, yeah, we're not really helping America in that regard. But, again, preaching to the choir. There's a book actually out now that um, details the connection between the CCP, AI, and how they can actually plot out our destiny, I suppose, through, let's say, like the Uber app, for example. If you've seen documentaries like, what is it? The one that was on Netflix that basically shows how they're creating an electronic voodoo doll of everybody. I think that lends itself to that. I'd like to know what the name of that book is. Um, I work in transportation as well, and I believe it was David Paulides who recently mentioned on one of his factual news segments what that book was. And if you guys know what his channel is, Canon Missing Project, you could probably find what that book is. I'm curious to know what it is. He mentions it once, not again. So I'm trying to find that title actually. Yeah. So he's actually going through a lot of issues with technology himself. On his channel, people, I've experienced the exact same thing. You know, I'll have passengers get out of the car, I'll see them subscribe right in front of my eyes, and then it won't go off on my phone. So he's experiencing that as well. People just being unsubscribed from your YouTube channel, messages being deleted, posts being erased. You see this stuff happen all the time on Facebook specifically. So yeah, something very strange is happening. I mean, whenever I talk to somebody at the bank, for example, they always say, you know, in order to, I like to pride myself in being a little Robin Hood and getting people's money back when they have overdraft fees in the bank. And I like to call the customer service and talk to the supervisor, etc., escalate it, blah, blah, blah. I usually get the $35 vampiric parasitic fee that they give to people, hit them when they're down, you know, charge them more money when they don't have anything. It's the most disgusting system ever. And they always hit me with, well, we're going to have to, you know, see how many you've had and what the relationship with the bank is, etc., and run this tool. And then, you know, it comes down to the conversation, well, so, okay, the computer then is deciding whether or not this person will be liberated from this burden, or is it a human-to-human relationship? Again, the person who's working for the bank at that moment is then forced to assess their own relationship with their existence and technology and who exactly really is running the show and who is in charge. And they almost sometimes laugh to me and they go, I guess AI is. I know Tony Rodriguez would agree with that statement.